Welcome back to Hot Takes and Deep Dives, and my next guest is one half of the pod Seek Treatment. She is the star of her own Netflix special and is about to tour the world. Hi, Catherine Cohen.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
You were just a little concerned that I might be recording video because you just got back from the gym.
Yes, well, I'm actually on a running journey. I'm getting back into jogging.
So were you running outside or were you running on a
Yeah,
treadmill?
actually, today I ran outside because it's very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Are you out? Have you been outside?
I have been outside.
It's stunning. Yeah, I tried to go to the gym, but I just hate it in there. I feel self-conscious. I'm like, why is everyone looking at me? They're not, but I get really like, I hate it.
Promise you, they're not at all.
I know, but it's such a bad vibe in there. Do you like the gym?
I'm a class person. So
For me, that's even worse. I'm like so self-conscious. I can't.
In my head, so obviously like Pat Regan, your best friend, co-host, he is abnormally obsessed with his just regular gym. Like it's weird to me I totally understand being part of a cult, like the cult of Soul Cycle, or like I've been there. That has been my lifestyle and my journey. But to be obsessed with an actual gym, like it's just, I can't relate to that at all. Like to me, all gyms are gross.
I know. I even go to fancy gym. I go to Equinox, but no amount of fancy can make me want to go there, apparently. But yeah, it's beautiful out, so I'm trying to get back into running. It puts me in a good mood, unfortunately. And that's that.
Why did you choose Equinox?
Well, because I was like, maybe if I pay for a really expensive fancy thing, I'll want to go there. It works sometimes. Like in the winter, I guess it's nice to steam. Shout out to the steam room. But it just feels like such an ordeal.
Equinox. So sometimes my friends will guest me into Equinox to take like a particular yoga class. Like,
okay.
I used to belong to
Which one do you like?
Like which instructor?
Is there a specific class you like or something, or just to go?
No. So this is what happened. So I used to belong to Laughing Lotus.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Which I actually want to do a whole documentary about. This is. I actually want to do.
Is that the one in Williamsburg, or where is that?
Laughing Lotus was on 19th between 5th and 6th.
Okay, I actually have not been there.
It was the greatest yoga studio. Like it
Oh
was
my God.
kind of very cultish. Like all the instructors had their own brand of cult-like fever, and of course that all traveled up to like the head of Laughing Lotus, who was her own wacky cult-like figure. And
I love that.
She
Okay.
got canceled in the pandemic.
Okay.
For like reasons we can't get into. Save it for the documentary.
Okay.
So
I need the doc.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the. This actually, I want to be my next big project, I think.
Oh my God, you should.
Yeah.
Wait, I have to ask you about your scarf because I'm having biter mine off with that scarf.
You're having what?
Do you know about biter mine off?
Tell me.
I think I'm saying it right. It's when you like learn about something or you see something and then you start seeing it all the time, everywhere.
Oh. So it's like it's black and white with skulls.
I keep seeing that scarf.
Really?
Is that a bad omen?
No, I think it's
I keep
a great
seeing
omen.
I keep seeing a skull scarf. Skull scarf. Say that 10 times.
Well, skulls on piece of clothing, that is a popular motif.
I know, but it's like that exact scarf, I feel. Wait, also, okay. I think that's what that term means. But you know what? Interesting. I'm just trying to be open to signs from the universe. So shout out universe. I wonder what you're trying to tell me.
I think you should get it. If you
maybe,
see a scarf.
maybe
I mean, it's a cute scarf. Like, look.
Yeah, it looks great.
Thank you.
You're rocking it.
Okay, wait, back to this because I really do want to talk to you about this. So long story short, with Laughing Lotus, so that place closed in the pandemic, and all of those instructors now they kind of disperse to different, some are at Equinox, some are at Pure Yoga, and I'm not gonna pay $1 million a month to like go to the yoga class twice a month.
Right,
so
that's what I do.
So my friends, but the trick around it is to become either friends with people who have Equinox memberships, or better yet, become friends with the instructors, and they will fully just guest you in.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, good to know.
Shout out like Allie Kramer at Equinox, like
Shout out Allie.
Allie
Which
Kramer.
one? Which location?
They travel.
I see. I see. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But
But you really like her class.
she's incredible, although she's not at her full powers at Equinox because I think I mean, Equinox, even in the yoga classes, there's no ambiance. It's just like four white walls. Like
Yeah.
there's not even a fucking candle. Not a goddamn candle.
I know. I know. Because I was going to ask you, what makes a good yoga instructor, do you feel?
I think it's the preaching. I think it's the
Mm-hmm.
spirituality. It's what they say. It's not
Yeah.
the poses,
Totally.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I had another yoga. Are you a Madonna fan at all?
Sure. I mean, in the sense that like she's an icon.
I may cut this out because this is so dumb. So there's this other yoga instructor who, again, he used to teach at Laughing Lotus. Now he's at another studio. His name is Victor, but this to give you an example of like how kind of wacky the instructors are. So Madonna's last studio album was called Madam X. Are you
Hmm.
familiar with this? And she'd wear an eye patch and do a whole thing and call
I was
herself.
not familiar. I'm not familiar with this.
Okay, we'll just go with it.
Okay.
This is true.
Okay. Cool.
He literally, you know how when you look at classes, it shows the instructor name? He literally changed his name on the instructor schedule to Madam X for like 5 years. Like it's like still like that. All right. But
Love it.
it's funny because in my mind, I could really see you, especially in the heyday. You were never like a Soul Cycle person.
No, I went once and I went with both my parents and I sat in between them and it was such a weird vibe and we all agreed that it was too loud and it stressed me out.
How do you wind up at a Soul Cycle class in between your two parents?
It was like I was like it was like I must have been in college on Christmas break and we were all like, let's try Soul Cycle together. And it was just the weirdest vibe. We were all laughing. I felt like I was gonna fall off. Spin
Where
is not for me.
were you in New York City?
No, I was where I'm from. I'm from Houston. I was in Houston.
Oh, that's the first problem. Okay.
Do you think? I don't know. I don't know about spin because I don't like being hunched over like that.
Well, I just wouldn't go to Soul Cycle in Houston.
Really? Why?
I don't know, because it's all based on the instructor and like who are they?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember. But it was a memorable experience in that it was too loud.
Okay.
But maybe I'll give it another go.
So I'm a huge fan of Seek Treatment.
Thank
I told
you.
Pat like I love the theme song, and he told me you recorded it in your closet.
I did. I did. Yes, I did.
Now, did you like?
When did you have Pat on?
Pat was on. It must have been like November of this year. We did it. We did it in
Yeah.
person at my apartment.
That's so fun. I'm trying to remember what month November was. Okay, it's coming back to me.
It was either October or November. He was here for shows, and so we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yes, I used to have this apartment that had like a big closet, and so I turned it into a little voiceover studio. But I mean, that's very generous. It was essentially a closet.
And is this the apartment that is featured? Your apartment, your New York City apartment, if it's still the same one, is actually featured on apartmenttherapy.com.
Oh my God, yes, well that's my old apartment, but I still live in the same building.
So what I love about you so you live in the West Village. What I love about this is that it seems like you're slowly cobbling together all of the apartments in the building.
Yes, I
And
am.
like your family and our friends in there too.
Yeah, so I moved into that apartment that was on apartment therapy, and then slowly over the past few years, like anytime someone moved out, I'd be like, okay, what's going on? And I would reach out to the landlord, and then I convinced both my brothers to move into the building. But one of them just left, so it's sort of sad. But yeah, and then I'm keeping my eyes peeled for one for my cousin. Like it's a family affair. We're just renting, but I'm hoping that one day if we rent enough of them, we'll just like take over.
Do you want to stay in that apartment forever?
You know, I love this apartment so much. It's my boyfriend's about to move in, and it's not really big enough for two people, but it's such a good apartment that we're just going to try and make it work. But eventually, I'd love to have a two-bedroom apartment. That's the American dream, of course.
Do you have a good deal?
I have an amazing deal, and it's for a one-bedroom, it's big, and the location, it's heaven. I'm very lucky.
What
What
do
part
you
of town are you in?
I'm in the Village also, but
Oh,
I'm a
nice.
little,
Okay.
but I'm not, you're like deep in the West Village. I'm a bit more like Greenwich Village, like
Yes, yes.
NYU area.
Your NYU vibes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's the best.
It really is
Yeah,
the
we
best.
take my brother's dog to the Washington Square dog park, and it's like just so great. It's so nice.
When you used to do Seek Treatment, so now you're in studio, you record in LA, and I want to understand the whole process because you batch episodes, which is an insane thing to do with podcasting. I want to talk about this with you, but the journey to get this. So you used to record like fully horizontal, laying down.
We've recorded in so many different situations. Like we used to have a studio years ago, and then there was the pandemic, and then we were recording on Zoom, and then I was on my couch, and then I was like in a hotel room bed in Iceland, and then I was recording like on the floor in Argentina. And I remember like I was in Greece, and I made like a little fort with like a pillow, a couch pillow and a duvet, and I recorded there. Like it's been a journey. And now we are with Headgum, and they have an amazing studio in LA. They have one here too, but Pat has moved to LA,
Yeah.
and I've been there more than he's been here, so it's not ideal. Like I don't want to batch episodes. Obviously, in a perfect world, we'd be like, we go in every time this week, but our schedules are just too messy.
But the biggest difference, aside from the fact that Pat's audio is finally intelligible, that's the biggest.
That's so funny.
That is the biggest difference. The second biggest difference is now you're on video.
I know.
So I want to know your feeling. So for example, when we hopped on here, you were like, "Oh, are you recording?" And like it does. I mean, if you just came back from a run, you know, like for example, if that was the first thing you asked, is this on video? Now
Yeah.
that you obviously know you're on video, does it change? Here's my question: are you remaining humble in your approach to, like
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. I
you
think
know what I'm saying?
the first few episodes, I like did my makeup and tried to dress cute, and then by the end, I was like, wait, I'm actually just showing, like, I don't have time for this. I'm showing up like in my gym clothes, in a hat, like, and I do feel I wanted to do video because I thought it'd be a good way to like, I mean, honestly, to pull clips for social and try and like get more people listening to the podcast. But in general, I do think it's better for the podcast to not have all that, for it just to be like a conversation. But I think it's like it's just become a thing now. Like everyone expects you to have video. So we're just trying it out and seeing how it goes. But I do sometimes feel like more self-conscious about things that I say on video as opposed to just like talking shit into a mic with my friend. You know what I mean?
In my experience, the chemistry is always, I mean, whether there's, I'm a big proponent of in person. Like I think in person, the chemistry is always better. But if you then add cameras, subconsciously, you are different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's an additional awareness that and of course you're being filmed, you're being recorded no matter what, cameras or not, if you're recording a podcast. But there is a way, if the conversation is so fun, and if you're able to like let down your guard. Like I've had people be like, oh, this didn't even feel like we were recording anything.
Right, right, right.
But if you then add cameras, I think there's just an element of self-awareness that is impossible to get away. Like no matter what, you're going to be fussing with the way you sit, like how's this looking on camera, just subconsciously.
Yeah, or even like, wow, I just totally lost my train of thought. But like, oh, I think with video too, there's more of a pressure to like make it interesting or funny. Whereas like, I mean, I not this is good, but there'd be full episodes of us talking where I'm like, neither of us is even trying to be funny or interesting. I can't believe anyone listens to this. This is such garbage. But for some reason, when you have those resources of like a studio, you're like, okay, we better put on a show.
A friend of mine, Jared Freed, comedian. Are you familiar with him?
Love
Oh,
him.
great. So I know him quite well, and his journey. I want to find out how close or divergent your journeys to a Netflix special were. So Jared's story is he self-financed his special. He filmed a special at the Gramercy Theater. He made sure that, he hired the correct cameras that they used for Netflix to make sure that there were no holes that could be poked in, like, oh, you didn't use the right cameras, or oh, the lighting wasn't right. He filmed the special and then he shopped it around to every single streamer. Netflix eventually bought it in August and aired it. It seems like you can either go that road, like taking it into your own hands. You have to self-finance and hope that it pays off. Otherwise, comedians will put their stuff on YouTube, which I don't know how much money you make back from that. It's certainly not, you don't get the exposure the way you would do on a streamer. So I'm curious for you with your Netflix special, did you self-finance or did Netflix put up the money?
No, I think what Jared did is becoming a lot more common, unfortunately, because I think we shouldn't have to do that. I didn't do that because I got the offer to do my special a few years ago. It's like before the pandemic. So I think it was just different back then. Like I think pre-pandemic, a lot of streamers were doing what you'd expect, which is like, we want to make a special with you. We're going to pay you. We're going to put it up, and so it was a great process. Although we had to wait, a few years to do it because of the pandemic. But now my understanding is I talk to most of my friends and yeah, that's what you have to do. Like make it yourself. I mean, it's crazy.
And shop it around.
It's crazy. Artists should be paid for what they do. It's ridiculous.
I mean, can you kind of talk about the Edinburgh Fringe Festival? Because I feel
Yeah,
like this is.
have you been?
I've not been, but
Oh,
I
you'd
but I
love
really
it.
but I really want to
It's so
go.
cool.
Yeah,
It's
talk
the
about just like
best.
explain the concept of it for anybody who hasn't been, and also what it's like for an artist.
Yeah, so it's something I learned about when I was in college, and it's like the biggest arts festival in the world, and people just come from all over, and it's a month long, and basically every venue in town, restaurant, bar, theater, school, gym, closet turns into a theater, and they put up shows, basically 24 hours a day. And during the month of August, the population of the city triples. Like everyone comes to Edinburgh for this festival. I have chills thinking about it. It's just so magical. Anyone can go. And I'd had some friends in London who it's more common to go, obviously, because you're closer over there. And I'd made some friends in London who helped connect me with some producers who put my show up in 2019, which was so lucky. And they're called Burke's Nest, and they're amazing. And yeah, so I went over that. You go over there for a month. You do a show basically every night.
Wait, you go for a
And
month?
yeah, yeah, it's a month long.
Oh, I thought you just do like 2 or 3 gigs.
No, you do like 28.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. This I did not know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh
So, I
my
mean,
God.
you don't
Okay.
have to, but the traditional thing is, yeah, you go for the whole month. You do a show every night. Everyone gets like 1 or 2 nights off a month. So you do your show. I think I did my show like 28 times or something. And then everyone writes a new show and does it again the next year. I have not done that. I feel like I've taken breaks. I'm gonna go this year with my show, but I haven't done the full thing in a while.
Damn. And it's not only comedians, it's also musicians, like
Oh yeah,
all
it's
types of
lots of
performers.
comedians. There's full plays, operas, dance, a lot of circus, like performance art, like you know, super weird stuff you wouldn't see anywhere else. It's so fun. And then like obviously there's like parties that go all night and like, giant tents and lots of beer and it's so fun.